In this chapter, let's look at what is a TypeScript class. So basically, a class is a blueprint for which you can actually create objects, and it actually gives you a structure and tells you what the class exactly does, right? Say, for example, I might have a class called dog, where I might specify the breed of the dog, the color of the dog, and which year it was born, and whether it's a champion dog or something of that sort, and whether it's vaccinated or not. So, so these are some of the attributes that I might have for a dog, and basically these attributes are nothing but the objects that I need to associate with a dog, right? Um, so yeah, that's really what a class does, where you can actually create a blueprint for a particular object. In this case, a dog. And you can use a constructor to basically call the objects of the class when the class is actually created. So now let's go ahead and create a class. Let me call it as class car, and let's set some properties of this class. So I'll look at the brand of the car, model, which is also a string, and the year when it was manufactured. So this is basically the class that I've created, where I'm defining what is the car. Now, when the class gets initiated or instantiated, whatever, you will basically call the constructor. So here I have a constructor where I'm actually initializing the objects, which is brand, model, and year. So you use this to kind of call the objects here. And we visit in the class. Now let me also create a method. Start. It will let you to kind of log whatever I pass on to this class. So I use what is that? Start brand and this to model. So since I'm calling these variables, I need to make sure that I call it within this curly brackets. Yeah, so now that I have the class created, I cannot call this class directly in any other file. So the main purpose of the class is to kind of reuse in other files, right? When you want to call any of these classes. So there are multiple ways to kind of export this class. You can use export default. So if I use this by default, if I have multiple classes, this will be the first class that gets imported. Or I can just say export class tar, if in case if I want to export all the classes all the classes that I've created in this file, for example. Or I can also do this. I can, I can just export this class even at the end. So I can do this as well, right? But for simplicity, I'm just gonna export it from here. Export default. It's always a good idea to have a default class. So now all that I have to do is, and this is specifically useful since we will learn a lot about page objects where you're going to create a lot of classes for usability. So let's look at this example. So I'll call it as import class.ts, right? So I need to, let's say, create a new class. Sorry, I'm calling this class, creating a new class. So I'm calling this class in a new file, but what did I do wrong here? I haven't imported the class at all, right? So yeah, you can either try this option to import if the class is already indexed by VS Code, or else you can also import this way. So which is import car from class. So yeah, either way, if it is indexed already, the class will automatically be imported here. So I really cannot call the class per se to execute it. So all that I will do is case node star C. I need to print the class, right? So I just go ahead and print the class. And since it takes 3 arguments, I've given 3 arguments, but we are really printing only 2 arguments out of it. So we've got 2 arguments printed here. So that's really how you create a class, export it, and then import it into a file.